Welcome back to the Fearless Females Voice podcast, where women's stories and experiences are shared to empower and inspire others. I wanted to touch on a topic today which is close to my heart because I've been hearing a lot about it and I've also experienced it myself. So today is all about self-limiting beliefs. So why do I want to talk about this? I've had many clients who have experienced a lack of self-belief, and I've seen the impact that it can have on them. I've spoken to many other women about this topic as well, and I've experienced this, as I said, and seen firsthand how it can impact someone. So let's start with, what is a self-belief? It's a person's belief in their ability, in what they can achieve, and it's all in their head. It's like the critique within you. So I got off a client call last week where she was telling me about how she can't do something or she doesn't believe that she can do it. And I hear this type of language and automatically I'm thinking that needs to be worked on. That's a mindset shift that needs to be made. You're judging yourself in a negative way and it's not going to get you anywhere. You thinking that you can't do something is going to result in you not doing it. Because if you're saying to yourself, I can't do it, guess what? You won't be doing it because you don't believe in it. This is a really common struggle for many people. And for the purpose of this podcast, I'm going to share my experiences with it. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you are your biggest critique. And this can be a good thing, but also a bad thing. I remember when I was working in the corporate world and my company were going through a reorganization. And as soon as this was announced, everyone was on edge because they were making cuts in personnel. So jobs were at risk. They were changing team structures and demoting people. And in all honesty, I felt a bit upset. I didn't really know what the future of my career was at the company, and the uncertainty was challenging for me. I hadn't dealt with that level of ambiguity before, which pretty much was my livelihood as I'd worked so hard for my career. So I was the newest member on the team. There were colleagues of mine who had years and years more experience than I did. And I didn't think that I was going to be staying in that role. I actually felt that I would be the one who was told, you have to leave or you're going to be made redundant, because it felt like me to be the obvious choice, the newest member, the one with the least experience. And this made me quite anxious. But also it made me detached from my work. And I'd say my head wasn't fully in it. I wasn't the only one. There were many others feeling like this as well. And it was a period where everyone was a bit on edge, wondering whether their job is at risk and didn't really know what was going on. So after 6 months or so of back and forth communication, I was finally pulled into the meeting, which would pretty much determine my fate. And I remember going into the room with my manager and thinking, okay, this is it. They're going to probably let me go. And funnily enough, I was told not only am I staying, but that I was getting a promotion. And I remember my manager telling me this and handing me a letter to read, which outlined the details of the promotion. And I thought, why me? That's the first thing that came up in my head. Why are they keeping me versus everyone else? As I said, I had the least experience. I was the newest member in the team. And I must have looked pretty confused instead of happy, because my manager asked me, aren't you happy you're staying? And I responded with, I don't understand. Why have I got a promotion? And he smiled at me and said, because your performance has been great and we see a lot of potential in you and your future here. I paused and I looked confused again. And after this meeting, I realized that only 2 of us were promoted and they also made cuts in the team. I didn't understand or realize that I'd made that level of impact to the company and my team. I didn't even believe in myself to know that I was capable of getting the promotion, because my mind started thinking the worst rather than switching to the positive of, actually, I might be staying. I was thinking about getting fired or being made redundant, essentially, instead of staying and thriving. And this was all linked to my self-belief. I remember from that moment telling myself, no matter how much of a sticky situation I'm in, I will always believe that I can do it. I will always look to the positive side. I will have faith in myself and what I'm doing, because if others are seeing it, then I should be leading it and be in control of it, because it's all about me. And this has really helped me with my mindset. And I still see many people around me with a lack of self-belief. Some things which can be a result from this is you stopping what you're doing, feeling imposter syndrome, not feeling like you're good enough or that you're able to do something. You may feel that it's not possible, so you don't even attempt to do it. And I found that this is a journey. The self-belief progression is a journey. Believing in yourself takes time. And don't get me wrong, even though I trust the process and know my capabilities, I still come across self-doubt here and there. It happens, and I recognize that it's going to happen. Why? Because I enjoy trying new things. I enjoy coming out of my comfort zone. And with that territory comes a lot of unknown. Things that I need to work on, understand, and develop. So during those periods, it's more of a challenge to get my mindset in check, but that's okay because I recognize it's all a part of the process. So I went out for dinner with a school friend on Saturday who I haven't seen in over 15 years, by the way, which is pretty crazy. It was amazing seeing her. And she's also a fellow business owner and has years more experience than me under her belt. And I remember when I first started Fearless Females, she's the one who encouraged me to use stories and videos. But I was really scared of doing it. I was really scared of putting myself out there. I had no idea how to do it, how I'd come across, what people would say. I had all these self-limiting beliefs and all of the standard fears around actually showing up on camera. But I did it. I wanted to challenge myself and give it a go. And yes, self-doubt did creep in, as I said. It was new, scary, didn't know what I was doing. But as soon as I did my first story, I was thinking, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Was that it? I could definitely do that again. And now that I'm on video or going on stories, I don't actually think twice about it. I feel far more confident in showing up, sharing my work, sharing my day, and talking on video. In fact, I really enjoy it. It comes across very natural for me now. And this is something that I would never have thought of before. So this is the initial challenge that took me out of my comfort zone. Yes, I felt the limiting belief, but I overcame it and I gave it a go. I took action and it all turned out okay. I've come across many women who, for example, are looking to start a side hustle and have done their qualifications, got experience in their field, and yet they don't make a start. They're being held back by their limiting beliefs, whether they feel they don't have enough knowledge yet, or they need to do another course before they can prove themselves and start working, or they feel they need to have all the steps figured out before actually taking the plunge, or they feel that they're not good enough to coach someone or sell their products. And I've fallen into this trap before as well. And I hate seeing other women go down that same route. I'm here to tell you that you don't need to do 10 different courses to make a start. You don't need all the knowledge in the world. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to even practice coaching for a year before getting paid clients. It's about starting. It's about believing in yourself. It's about taking action. And the only way you're going to get anywhere is to believe in yourself and take a leap into it and don't look back. The self-limiting beliefs come through, okay, well, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? All of these fears around it. But then think, okay, if it doesn't, and that's going to stop me from starting, then where am I going to be in 6 months or 12 months? Am I still going to be in the same position that I'm in now because I'm too afraid or I feel like I haven't got it all figured out? I was on my group coaching call yesterday and we talked about the path of least resistance. What I mean by this is when you're looking to start something, the easiest way to get going is taking the path of least resistance. So if you're throwing in there, oh, I need to do a course, I need to set up this Excel document, I need to get a website going, I need to do a podcast before I do anything, all of these things are getting in your way and you're thinking of all of these hurdles to overcome before you even make a start on your business or whatever it is that you're looking to do. And that's because you haven't taken the path of least resistance. You've added in other distractions, other things that are going to get in your way and stop you from moving forward, stop you from taking action. So remember, if you are in a position where your fears are holding you back, you're afraid you're going to fail, that no one's going to like your content, that you may not get that job or the promotion if you actually start applying and go for it, then you're going to be in the same place you're in now. And if that's okay for you, then continue. But if you want to see a change, then you need to make a change. You need to do something different. You need to come out of your comfort zone. So, moral of my stories is that self-doubt will creep in, but that's how you manage your thoughts and mindset around this. So here are some tips which I've used that hopefully will help you as well. Number one, stop thinking that you can't do something. Don't think you're not capable. Don't feel like you're not good enough. Because as I said, if you're feeling this way, others around you will feel this energy and it probably won't happen. You probably won't achieve your goals. Start thinking about all of the great things that you can do, how a challenge is actually a good thing and will help you grow, and that you can do it. If you believe in yourself, then you'll make it happen. Having a shift in your mindset can make such a huge difference. Number two, start documenting your wins. I tell all my clients this because the one way I've started building confidence and belief in myself is through writing down my wins. I really like reflecting and capturing the wins because it helps me see just how much progress I've made. And it helps me see that I am capable and things are actually happening and I'm doing something. So when my clients are asked to do it, they actually start doing it and they feel and see just how great they are and the progress that they're making. So you may experience a time when you're having a bit of a low moment. So if you are, go back to the journal or your notebook and read through your wins. See all the great stuff that you've been doing. Number three, get feedback from others. This is such a huge thing that people often fear or don't do. The reason is because constructive feedback can be a hard pill to swallow. Someone may be telling you that you're not doing something right or something isn't working. Remember, the most successful people take feedback, but take it well. They digest it and they act on it. Don't get me wrong, you don't want to be asking every single person for feedback because that probably won't be useful, but choose people wisely. Who are the right people to ask? So whilst I was in my previous corporate role, I asked my close colleagues and some directors who I worked with. I didn't ask all of my team members who I haven't actually worked with or been in touch with in a work perspective, because that really wouldn't be useful for me. So choose your who you're asking for feedback from wisely. Also, if you're a business owner, then get feedback from your clients. I do this on a regular basis to make sure I'm improving and also see what's working and what isn't working. This again has helped towards my confidence and also growing my business, my career, whatever it was. And you can do the same. So make sure you're asking for feedback from others. Number four, learn to just go with it. Self-limiting beliefs will stop you from doing something or trying something new. It has this power over you where you can't see beyond the limits. And when you're at this stage, there's two things that you can do. You can stop and forget whatever it is that you wanted to do, or you can continue, do it, and move forwards. You can put that limiting belief to the back of your mind and give it a go. Because at the end of the day, think about it. What could actually really go wrong? You may fail. Okay, great. There's some learning from that. You may be judged by others. Okay, great. So what? You're doing something different, and I don't see anyone else trying it or putting themselves out there or taking themselves out their comfort zone. So who cares what other people have to say? Everyone will have an opinion. That's a fact. No matter what you are doing, someone would always have something to say. But it's how you take that on which will have the key impact on what you're doing. So then you may ask, okay, well, what if it doesn't work out? Okay, well, you can go back to whatever it is you were doing before, or change what you're doing now, try something different. And again, what's the worst that can happen? Don't let your limiting beliefs limit your options. And number 5, finally, check in with someone. Have some accountability or someone to talk through how you're feeling. One thing I've realized is that when I'm feeling that self-limiting belief, I speak to my husband or my close friends, and they always say the right things to put me back on track. And I always wonder, you know the answer, but at the same time, you want to hear it from someone else. So imagine this. So a friend comes to you with an incredible idea, but had limiting beliefs, didn't believe that she could do it. What would you say to her? How would you approach that? And as I said, the funny thing is we never take our own advice. For me, I have to hear it from someone else. So check in with someone and let them support you through it. Because when you're truly in something, in a task, in your goal, trying to get something done, there can be overwhelm and distractions. So it's good to speak it through with someone so they can help you find a clear path forwards. So that's all for now on limiting beliefs. I'm hoping this has inspired you in some way to continue on your journey, come out your comfort zone, and think differently. I don't want women to feel trapped or as if they can't do something. So let's pave the way and be fearless females. So that's all for now on this episode. Thank you so much for listening. And I'd actually love to hear your thoughts on self-limiting beliefs. So do drop me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to hear from you and what journey you've been on. Thank you so much for listening.